Hey, this is Kurt Angle, and I want to give a shout out to the best podcast in the business, Nightcap Recap. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
What's going on, everybody? Jim Biringer here, Nightcap Recap. We're back live. Carolina, Stanley Cup final goes tonight in Vegas. Hope to get out there, but we got to come on here, do you a quick 20. We were away, I was away down in Carolina, so not a lot went down, but so much news to get to. We got to break it all. We got to talk about NFL, wrestling, mental health, everything. Shout out to everybody who follows us. Thank you, everybody, for the support. We are back old school style. Teddy
My man.
Repantis joining me here live. How we doing?
Great, Jimmy. It's great to see your face, man. I've been watching you in Carolina, living the dream. It's awesome. It's inspiring. Great to have you back in the great state of New Jersey and hop on here so we could talk a little of the sports world and everything that's going on. How is Carolina, man?
Bro, it's awesome. People are great. Awesome stuff. Everything, again, get to media day. Of course, the NFL's got to steal our day. Always got to steal every day with the trades, with Giants running back. It feels like the Giants are running back the bloodline because we just got to bring everybody that's old back into the fold for some reason. Yeah. I don't get it. Just get some new guys, get young talent in there. We'll get to the Giants in a little bit. We get so much to say, like I said off the top. Got mental health to talk about. We got Knicks. We got NFL, hockey, wrestling, a little bit of everything. Old school today. But how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. I mean, you're right. The day that all this NFL news broke, the Myles Garrett trade, as you know, if you guys follow the page, I gave my instant reaction as a 49ers fan. And you're in media day, and you're like, this is crazy. Like, I want to hop on here and talk about it. We got media day, and the NFL's got trade after trade, breaking news. Guys are signing, veterans. OBJ's back with New York. Just crazy. A.J. Brown gets traded, like, took over the whole day. New York Knicks fever is taking over the locals here, man.
How about Danhausen fever?
Danhausen
fever is taking over.
The curse is real. I went out with my boy Emmer that I always shout out here, my coworker. We went out for game one. The atmosphere, the electricity, Knicks fans are feeling it, especially after last night too. So I've been good, man. I just trying to stay on top of the sports world and the wrestling world.
Well, I appreciate you putting up the quick view on the Myles Garrett stuff. I threw up some old clips. Can't find the A.J. Brown one. I know it's out there. We talked about it during the season. It's there somewhere out there. Producer, editor in the universe can go find it. Yeah. We talked about A.J. Brown as a Patriots target. I think we talked about it around the trade deadline.
We did.
We were saying, hey, this is a guy that's probably going to fit in New England. I've been on the Myles Garrett train since last year, saying he's probably done in Cleveland. When I had Andy Mack out there, shout out to our boy over in Cleveland.
Always.
He doesn't like the trade. He's not a big fan of the trade. He doesn't think the return was enough for Myles Garrett, a guy who won Defensive Player of the Year 2 years now in a row. I kind of agree with him. I think the return is a little soft for a guy that basically kept the Browns in, contention for most of the year last year. That defense was solid. And we know what that defense did to Jim Foot's Packers because we were listening on the car ride home for Toronto. So
we did.
We
Dude,
know
he's a Hall of Famer.
Dude's a Hall of Famer. And
whatever it is, it's never enough.
Yeah, but I put the clip up from the draft saying I still thought I was still hearing his name out there in trade circles. And look, Andy brought up the point. June 1st comes, right? Bonus is redone, structured, contracts restructured. Boom, he's out of town. And he goes to the Rams, of all teams. He's going to the Rams.
I'm still not over that, Jimmy. The Rams, look, I got to respect the shrewdness and the way the franchise moves. There's some franchises that say they're going to do things and talk about trading picks, and there's other franchises that actually do it. And since Matt Stafford has been there and Sean McVay and Aaron Donald retired, they got that championship.
Yo, he could come back.
Yeah, I know. That would be my worst nightmare, that they're sending texts out to Aaron Donald. He's putting up workout videos saying, hey, Myles Garrett, come back for one more ride, because we know Stafford's got 1 or 2 left in him. I mean, you got to respect the shrewdness, because this is a new style of NFL we're entering where teams are now okay with trading future draft picks. We didn't really used to see it a lot. Now it's, with the new rules, I think they're letting teams trade way into the future. That's why you're seeing a 2028 pick getting traded for Myles Garrett. So I respect the shrewdness. I just hated that the Niners now, Garrett is pretty much at his prime. He's going to extend for another 5 years. Brock Purdy's, getting into his prime, and we're going to have to see this guy twice a year. The Rams are making great moves, but they're rolling for a title. if you're an NFL team and you want to win championships, this is what you got to do. You got to make moves like this. So you got to respect it at the
I
end of the day.
respect the move because,
Yeah.
like Rams, I think that was also I think that as much as, Sean McVay wants to talk about, Matt Stafford and everything, I do think this was a move to, like, kind of calm the waters for Matt Stafford, saying this
Yeah.
is your team right now. We go get Myles Garrett. It also helps, it helps Ty Simpson later on. But I think this is a move to calm the waters for Stafford about, hey, let's, this is your team. We're going for a year. We're going for championships now. And I think this was also a move to counterpunch what Seattle had done. Problem is, Seattle took steps backwards. They don't have their running back anymore. The
Yeah.
guy that won Super Bowl MVP. So, I
They
mean,
lost. Yeah, they lost a couple defensive players too here in the free agency. So
Seattle's not the same team. Arizona's junk, and I think it's going to be Rams. I think Rams and 49ers battling out for the division.
look, it's like for us, and we're going to say it again because we say it time after time. Now, Sam Darnold went back-to-back years showing us he's a capable quarterback. Can you put that third? We keep saying, how many times are we going to say, Sam, you got to keep proving it. You're a good quarterback. Now, Myles Garrett's here in the division. Niners are going to be healthy with Bosa. Hopefully, knock on wood, everybody stays healthy because the Niners have a knack of getting hurt. Can Sam Darnold now string a third year coming off the Super Bowl to counteract what's going on in the rest of the division? That's why the Rams did this, to say, okay, Sam Darnold, prove to us that you can, beat this pass rush that you're going to be seeing all the time. So
And one final thought on this Rams trade. We go back to week 16, I think it was, week 16,
Yeah.
Thursday night game. Rams blew that huge lead. That cost them the division and home
cost them
field.
the division, home field. That would have changed
You
everything.
have Myles Garrett, that game, they don't even come close to coming back.
Agreed. So that's why they did this, to make sure that the outcome of that game was flipped, because they're right there. They're right where they need to be.
And last time Super Bowl was in L.A., they were there. They win it.
Yeah.
They want to get back to L.A. for the Super Bowl. To me, right now, you can't say Rams aren't favored to come out of NFC.
They were the favorites already before this trade. The odds just make it even higher now. Like I was saying in that video, I said, look, if you're any of the other, because the NFC is kind of like top heavy now. Packers, Cowboys, Seahawks,
but are
Niners.
Packers a contender?
Yeah, like the contenders now are like, okay, we've been put on notice by the Rams. They're serious here. That's who we're going for. We're going for the Rams. Everybody else is just going to beat each other up, and we're shooting for the Rams right now.
Right. Other big trade was A.J. Brown to New England. No surprises. I mean,
Sorry, Drew. We told you so.
Sorry, Drew. We told you this was coming.
What did Jimmy say? Or what does Roddy Piper say? I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so.
Right. Mr. Perfect, Bobby Brain.
Mr. Perfect. There you go.
At the 92 Rumble. We told you this was coming. Turmoil. He was gone. That's it. Now it's Devontae Smith's team.
Yeah.
I think you got to get – now let's see what happens with Jalen. Let's see if things calm down a little bit. I still think it was too much of the change of coordinators that's really thrown this team off.
That's what I think, yeah.
Keep a coordinator, just like, let's roll this thing. But Eagles now, you got A.J. Brown in New England. We talked about it. Receiver help. They needed it. This could be a fun division up in AFC and the NFC East.
Yeah, agreed, Jimmy. I mean, look, with the Eagles part of it, if this story is true that they're saying that it had to do with AJ and one of the other players, I think Hassan Reddick, were both sneaking around with the same woman. This is like 3 years going that apparently Jalen Hurts, I mean, you can't blame him for this. Keep it focused on the football field. We're not thinking about off the field stuff.
Yeah, we don't need that.
It seemed like AJ was mad at him for not having his bag. It's like, dude, I'm trying to win a championship. I don't need to worry about your drama. AJ felt some kind of way. Clearly, he's had this behavior before, dating back to Tennessee. So once, twice, is he going to do this a third time? Receivers have that diva mentality. He's trying to show that he doesn't have that. It's starting to, the cracks are showing there. But
I'm going to tell you this. He goes to New England. Vrabel's not putting up with that garbage.
They know each other from Tennessee. Vrabel didn't want to trade him when he was with the Titans. That was on ownership and management, so that's why they're together. AJ grew up a Pats fan. Great for Drake May to build off the Super Bowl season. They lose Stephon Diggs. They upgraded with AJ Brown. They got the upcoming Kayshon Boutte, who I think might want out of there. They also got Romeo Doubs from the Packers. So the Pats are loaded with receivers now, and they got a solid run game. So they want to bounce back from the Super Bowl hangover that usually happens to the loser of the game. And it's going to be a tough division with Buffalo. And I think the Miami and the Jets are going to be no competition. It's a two-team race. And then the Eagles got to worry about the upcoming Giants and the Cowboys. So it's going to be fun, man.
I mean, Giants bringing back Odell is like, all right, I
Yeah.
guess,
So
like,
what do you think
whatever.
about these three? We get the news. They signed Braxton Berrios. Okay. You signed Juju Smith-Schuster. Okay. Odell is back. To me, that tells me Malik Neighbors, they're concerned that he might not play from
Malik Neighbors, according to reports, Tiki, and he's pretty connected,
He
like you
is.
said, if he's going to be on the pup list to start the year, you need
That's 8
receivers.
weeks. Well, if you look at the bye week where it is, it's at least 6, right? I think 6 for the pup. And you see where the bye week is, we wouldn't see him on the field till about week 8 or 9, considering, like, with the games missed. So that's half the season. You're telling me that these 3 guys, Odell, we don't even know what he is anymore talent-wise, are going to fill in.
And can Juju, like, not drop the football?
Yeah, Jimmy, I think it's for me in the offseason, it started so high that I felt the Giants are going to be super competitive and go for 7. Everything that's been happening in the offseason has made me, like, less
Injury
confident
after injury. You trade Dexter. I mean, I didn't care about the trade for Dexter Lawrence. You got picks. You made good picks at the draft, whatever.
Yeah, they did well in the draft.
But like, the injuries in OTAs, now you're signing old receivers. You're not getting younger. We're running back, like.
And 2 key pieces, Neighbors and Scadaboo, coming off really serious injuries, right? So how good are those guys going to be coming in?
And now who's your running back? Like,
right, Tyrone Tracy's there. So it's going to be a lot's going to be on Jackson Dart's shoulders. And
then you got the beef with him and Abdul Carter and off the field drama. I'm like, we're not getting into it here. You can go find it. Yeah. But again, unnecessary distractions for a team that needs to focus on football.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little more concerned now with my pulling the brakes on the Giants are going to be like a 7 seed or something like that now.
Right, exactly. So we'll see what happens. Giants flip it over at Knicks. Big win for the Knicks. 2 wins in San Antonio against the Spurs. Look, San Antonio blows a 14-point lead in game 1. That's cannot happen.
Yep.
And I felt it last
night too.
No, well, the Knicks blew the 14-point lead and they came
I know.
back.
Yeah, yes.
And then Wemby has the bad turnover at the end. Yeah. Brunson goes to the line. Yeah. They get the shot at the end to probably steal the game. I feel like this is over in 4.
Yeah, and Wemby, the way it's looking now, Jimmy, I thought 6, but I think a lot of people were putting a lot on the fact that the Spurs over-celebrated after they beat OKC, and it was like that was their championship. And even Wemby said it in the postgame. He's like, my emotions were a little too high still coming off the beating OKC, and I got to rein that in a little bit. So you could tell in his face that I think they thought they were just going to roll the Knicks because they won the West. And clearly the Knicks, you don't know their MO.
They've been the hottest team in basketball right now.
Yeah, they've been doing it all year. Even, besides this 13-game playoff win streak, fourth quarter is Jalen Brunson's. Go look at his numbers, Mr. Clutch.
The second half for the Knicks.
Yeah,
second half numbers. Second half team in basketball.
And this will tell you how much that I got a Knicks fan I'm hanging out with watching game 1. He's like down. They're like, oh man, aren't you concerned? You're down 13, down 14 in game 1, and he's like, nah, man, get us to the 4th, get us within 10. Jalen Brunson's going to do his thing. And that's exactly what happened. The Knicks get on a roll, and it's like you're not even concerned if they're going to come back or not because they pull it off. They've done it so many times in these playoffs and the regular season.
And the other thing is San Antonio's defense, they didn't really – it was similar to what the Cavs were doing against Jalen. And Charbonnet was just getting beat up. And I got to give a shout-out to Karl Anthony Towns for the defense he's playing on Wemby, going through a lot of stuff. His mom's not there. She's always around for him.
I was going to ask you about that. I don't know if you saw his post-game.
Yeah, I did. I watched it last night. Okay. Shout out to him because, I know what that's going through. Yeah. You always look for signs and stuff. But, it's unbelievable. He's having a great, much maligned in Minnesota where I think he was drafted there.
Even with the Knicks, his first year, much maligned. People saying he's too soft. He's playing great against Wemby defensively.
I got to say, I agree with the commentators last night. A lot of hard basketball last night down in the paint. Reminded me of 90s ball a little bit.
Oh, yeah. This Knicks team is watching them all year long for the games I've watched. That's what I got the vibe. This is like an old school team. You got the 3 Nova kids, Brunson, Hart, and Mikal Bridges.
They don't lose. The Nova kids don't lose.
And another guy, hell of a game last night. 8 of 9 in the third quarter, I think, Bridges. Another guy who – was he worth 5 first-round picks to the Nets? People were talking about that, and he didn't, show up a lot of times in these playoffs the last couple of years. Big reason they won last night is because of his play and Josh Hart and some of the secondary players, OG, Deuce McBride, another guy who's been playing great. So outside of the stars, the bench guys, the secondary guys are doing great. So I'm loving seeing that these kids, like, they don't let the moment get big because they've been here before with Villanova. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. And they're going home where Nova's one, that was their home court for how many
Yeah,
years with the Big East tournament. So
right.
they
And
know how
now
to
you're
play there. They know how to play here.
And the teams that I saw teams that took the first 2 games on the road in the finals, the 93 Bulls and the Rockets in 95, and they both won the title. So the Knicks are right there right now, and you got back-to-back games in the Garden. If it's up to them, I know that Mikal Bridges, if you look at his post-game interviews, he's locked in. He's ready for game 3.
Cat was locked in last night. They're like, 2 games. It's like,
0-0.
He's like, I'm just focused. I'm grateful every day to be playing basketball. Like,
Yeah.
there is zero talk about a sweep. There is zero talk about championship.
Nothing.
There is nothing.
It's all business. It's all business
for the
And
Knicks.
the Spurs are, I think they're just running into we're a young team and we got to go through the ups and downs.
They were right there in both games.
They were.
I think the losing 14-point lead in that game is so critical. We saw it in the first game against Cavs. You lose a 22-point lead. That's usually not a good thing. And then the mess up last night. Right there, you get the big stop. It's a tie game. Wemby's coming up the ball. He's trying to move it up. I think you called timeout there, and you
should have called the timeout. Yeah, a lot of questionable plays. I think the Spurs. We're going to look back on this if they do lose. Unless they pull some crazy comeback here, they still can because they got.
Series is not over yet, but
they're going to look back and be like, "Look, youngest team in the NBA Finals history since like 1975. I think the average median age is like 22 or 23. Wemby's still an up-and-coming superstar. LeBron lost at 22. There was somebody else. Couple players that got to the finals this early in their career all lost early.
Did KD lose early?
Who?
KD lost early, right?
KD lost early with OKC. All those guys were in their early 20s. So I think you got to go through the ups and downs. We always see even in wrestling, you got to lose the big one before you win the big one, right? So I think
if Knicks have gone through a lot of heartbreak. So
yeah, we're gonna look back on this with the Spurs. Like they're gonna be around a while. We're gonna be like that was just their growing pains right now.
Right, it's a great series. Stanley Cup's been great too. First 2 games have been absolutely unbelievable. Overtime game in game 2 down in Raleigh. Then late goal in period 3 of game 1, hurdle. Vegas goes on the road, takes the first game, looking for 2. They're 2-0 the whole game. 10 minutes left in the third. Then Carolina gets a couple big goals, tied up, places rock, and then they take the lead. Questionable challenge by John Tortorella. Didn't like it. Didn't need necessary, but they tie it up. You're like, Vegas always finds a way to win these hockey games. They go to overtime, they lose. Now we shift the scene to Vegas, games 3 and 4. Feels like the series. Well, I mean, now Danhausen curse the Hurricanes could be over in 5. This curse is real, people.
It's a strong curse.
Strong curse. It's a strong curse. So it's coming to the NHL world now. So you got to watch out for Danhausen. But I feel like it goes 6 or 7. But we'll see. Still in on Vegas train, but I'm interested to see with the quick turnaround, can the confidence that the Carolina Hurricanes gained in that third period, last 10 minutes in the overtime, carry over because it's a short travel day. Usually we get the 2 days going West Coast to East Coast, vice versa. We only get a 1-day turnaround, so I want to see how that carries over.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I heard on the radio, like, to be up to let that amount of goal, right, it went into OT. It was 2-0 going into the third with 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
Said? Right, I mean, like...
It was a lockdown. That building was quiet.
Yeah.
You felt, okay, Vegas gets 1 more goal.
It's over.
That's it. It's 2-0. It's probably going to be done in 4 or 5. I said going into that game, I said a couple places I was doing radio, TV, and stuff. I said if Vegas wins this game in game 2, I said series is over in 4 or 5. I said that's what it feels like to me.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that. And I think that maybe that Carolina's got their confidence back with that happening. So
I mean, that's a huge win for them. We don't want to talk about must-win games, but that was a must-win in the Stanley Cup final.
Agreed, man. So I'm excited to watch. I mean, these 2 series with the Stanley Cup.
Excellent.
Great.
Excellent for sports, excellent for your TV. It's been awesome. Real quick wrestling note. Look, WWE, we're just playing the hits. Like, what are we doing? Like, guys, come on. Like, I'm tired of the Bloodline.
What are we thinking about this? The Bloodline rerun here. Is it because creatively they can't think of anything else here?
All right, here's my point on this. I'm going to say this one time only, and this is, well, I'll probably say it a million times, so can't quote me on this. Goes back to when Austin won a title in '98. You got to have creative plans past WrestleMania. You can't be
Yeah.
afraid to put your big stars over, your new and up-and-coming stars. You got to find talent to work with these guys. Again, I'm listening to LA Knight. He's like, I'm tired of the bloodline. Like, I'm tired of running it back. Like, he was on Van Fleet. He's talking
I
about
was
he's
going to
tired of
say,
running
check
that.
that interview out. It's very
He's
good.
tired of running it back. He's tired of talking about the bloodline. We need some new blood in there. It feels like his pop is dying a little bit. He's still over, but why are we running the same stuff over and over again? Like it's 2023, like we ended this. Like it's time for something new. And you're starting to see the wrestling community a little bit. The WWE creators that were down on AEW for so long, trying to kill that company, are starting to flip over, starting to watch the product because they're tired of the same old story. It's like the Vince booking in 2018, 2019. It's just boring.
Yeah, no, LA Knight, I will say this. He made one really good point on Van Vliet. He said, look, if he's got a story, he said he noticed this. He said when he was involved with Seth Rollins and potentially wrestling for the title, when there's actually a story and he's headed somewhere, because he's like, right now I feel like I'm just like doing nothing. I'm just there. That's why the pop is good, but it's not what it could be. He's like, when I'm in a story that means something and we got like a fine end goal, the reactions will be there. And that's why I think he made a good point saying that a lot of people thought it was going to be a fad with him.
No,
and they were
not
waiting
a
for
fad.
the other shoe to drop. And you know what? It's been 4 years now. The shoe hasn't dropped. So it's shown that if you put him in a good story that's meaningful and headed somewhere and making people care, the pop will be even greater. It happens for Cody. Listen to the pops for these other guys. LA Knight's got it. I really hope he gets an opportunity. But it sounds like he's made peace with the fact that he's okay with how things turn out because he's thankful and grateful for how it's gotten to this point, because he talked about how, excuse me, he might have been fired with the Maximum Male Models because Vince didn't understand the LA Knight character. And thankfully, what happened with the lawsuit, he's like, I would have been fired. He's like, they told me not to show up to SmackDown. They were going to put Maxine Dupree there. He's like, I'm going to be fired. Next thing you know, Vince is gone. I texted Triple H. Trips is like, hey, let's FaceTime. You want to be LA Knight again? He said, hell yeah. So he's been on a ride since then, and it's worked out for him. So I hope this guy gets an opportunity. And if he doesn't, I think he's okay with how things have turned out.
I agree with that, 100%.
Jimmy, let's talk about one thing with the wrestling, because we both said we weren't happy with the fact that Lesnar might beat Oba. I watched the match. I actually liked it, and I'm going to change my mind and say maybe we didn't need to see Oba lose, but it was well done. Brock sneak attacked him during the entrance, during the announcement. 7 F5s, so obviously you're making Oba look very strong. And obviously this is headed to SummerSlam. And now after the loss, though, Jimmy, we always say it, taking a loss is not going to kill you. The fans on Raw the next night still 100% behind Oba. He wins his 4-way for the King of the Ring. I mean, the guy still as over as ever, so I'm okay.
I just don't like it. I just don't like it.
Yeah, you saw Lesnar's done. That said, it's a wrap. Let's move on.
Let's just move on. Like, I don't need to see 50-50 booking. This is Vince 101 right now.
Yeah, they wanted to get more matches. They wanted more money and more matches out of it.
Brett and Austin had a great trilogy.
Yeah. I like trilogies.
They had an epic trilogy. Brett won the first 2-1. I think Austin, no, he won. I think he won all 3. I don't know if Austin ever got an official victory.
I don't think so. He would have got it at Mania 14.
But what put Austin over in that feud was at the end when Brett needed knee surgery. He's the one that took him out.
Exactly.
After that in your house match, he worked the knee, worked everything. That's
Jimmy,
it.
Austin would have got his win back if Brett stayed and we had Mania 14.
Right, but it was a year later.
It was a year later, yeah.
Like, if you're going to build up Oba like Goldberg, make a guy like Braun Breaker or somebody else beat him a year from now.
Yeah.
A year and a half from now. I don't need Brock. This isn't Cody and Brock. Like, I hate the 50-50 booking because I don't need to see Brock Lesnar on my television.
I agree. No, listen, I agree. Look, it looks like you're taking your young talent and you don't know what to do with them, and you're keeping the.
Well, that's the point of the creative. It's like you had Lesnar lose to Oba Femi at WrestleMania. The next trajectory for Oba should have been the Intercontinental Championship immediately.
Jimmy, we said post-Mania, like this is the dawning of the young guys. Braun Breaker, he lost to Seth again. Oba lost to Brock.
That made no sense. That makes no sense in the booking.
It's like they're afraid. They're keeping these vets in their spots, which is okay, but you got to learn to bring this. What are they afraid of 20-year-old, like late 20-year-olds making the step up to the main event? It's okay. We don't need all 40-year-olds,
But
35-year-olds
we also
up
don't
there.
need the same booking. Like,
Yeah, we don't need
I
the same
don't understand. Oh, gotta go through the growing pains and all this. Braun Breaker's a legitimate star who,
Yeah.
if he didn't get hurt,
Yeah, would have been the main event at Mania.
would have been the
probably.
main event of WrestleMania and would have won the title.
Most likely they would have something. He would have been involved somehow. That CM Punk story would have been different. So let's see
I just
where this
don't like
goes.
it because it's the same crap I saw years ago. They just don't know how to book. They don't know how to book their young talent. Austin wins King of the Ring. Luckily, Brett was coming back. He got that feud.
Yeah,
But it's the same old story. You just don't know what to do with your talent after it. Look, I'm
agreed.
not trying to take a shot at, like, I know AAA is different, but that El Grande Americano feud was unbelievable.
I have to go back and watch this match because I'm hearing great things. I need to watch this. I haven't
Dude,
watched it.
unbelievable. Great storyline. Awesome. Happy for,
Chad Gable's back.
Chad Gable. Happy for
Hopefully he gets a
him.
push.
So happy for him for what he's done, all the growing pains he's gone through. So, but again, WWE just doesn't know what it's doing right now. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. It just feels like it's pre-pandemic. It really does.
Yeah, no, I hope that these stories that they're building have an end goal because it sounds like with the King of the Ring too, they just kind of put the brackets together and they don't have an idea of who's going to win yet. So
Obafemi should be winning the King of the Ring.
They're just like, let's throw something at the wall and hope it sticks and we'll figure it out after, which is
exactly. They don't know what they're doing.
Paul Heyman's a guy that likes to plan ahead. So if he's part of this creative process, hopefully he's opening his voice and telling Triple H we need like an end goal in mind here.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Also, before we wrap up here.
Yeah, mental health.
Shout out mental health, everybody. Yo, check on your bros, check on your family. Check on everybody that's going through stuff. F Dana White. I don't really care what he has to say. He's a loser anyway. I don't really care. Look, Claude Lemieux passed away for the cup final. Didn't need to happen, but it did. Hope he's at peace with it because, again, he was going through some demons. Just check on your friends, check on your bros, check on your homies. It's important because you don't know what somebody's going through, and it's hard for some people to open up. Because there's still a stigma out there when you got guys like Dana White saying, "Oh, men got to be manly" and all this stuff. Don't be on your emotions. Don't listen to those fools. They're nothing but fools.
Absolutely, Jimmy. I echo everything you say. June is Men's Mental Health Month, mental health awareness. We are big proponents. We always talk about it here. We will continue to do that. We're always going to spread that message and that word. And I agree, man. Just hearing Dana White say what he said sets everything back because you hear about Claude Lemieux, sad story. He's not the only one. There's been so many athletes in the last some odd years that have taken their lives, whether they're young, old, whatever age. It doesn't matter.
Not even just athletes, just people, men in general, people in general.
People in general. It's not just athletes, but it's magnified because it's in the media, it's in the national spotlight. That should be the number one thing to show you that it's okay to open up, talk, be vulnerable, talk to, check on your bros, always say, hey, haven't heard from you in a while, hope you're doing okay. That message might go a long way. So when you hear guys like Dana White, fools is a great word. There's other words we could say about him, but to tell people just to man up and bottle it up, that's the reason that this happens, because you bottle it up and you don't talk about it. So to continue pushing that message kind of just moves society backwards. We're trying to move forward. So it's a dangerous message to put out there by Dana White. The message we send out here in the Nightcap Recap is love your bros, check on your bros. Everybody, just check in on everybody because mental health is important.
Absolutely. Mental health, always important. Guys, what always is important, Nightcap Recap, always ahead of the game.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody coming on. Quick update for you guys. It'll be up on our page. It'll be up on the YouTube as well. Want to get some things in because, always busy, always around.
Yeah.
We got to be here for you guys.
Thank you to the I think the views, man, are exploding. I want to say thank you to everybody who's been tuning in and watching the stuff on YouTube. From the bottom of our hearts, we really appreciate that, man. We've been doing this for a while, and we're just trying to go on an upward trajectory, so I love it.
Guys, always follow along. You know where to find us. Specialty Media up in Nightcap Recap, Full Press Media up on YouTube, Nightcap Recap everywhere. Jim Biringer, Teddy Repantis. Guys, follow along. We'll see you soon.
Peace.
Nightcap Recap. What up,